Hi everyone, welcome to DOdaily, Tuesday training. Des here, out and about, getting some early evening fresh air. Pleased to say that I'm on early. Of course, what I do is check in every day to try and encourage some positivity and promote good mental health. At the moment, I'm feeling absolutely fantastic, but getting out early. As you might have seen if you watched Monday Motivation, I was particularly tired last night, got on late, and I've been saying in the last couple of weeks that I really want to get out and about a little bit earlier, getting some activity, settle down, catch up a little bit on all my sleep. So I'm down by the River Trent, as ever. It's a little bit of a hive of activity at this time. Really nice, whilst it's a little bit chilly. I'm not quite sure about the short sleeves. It's just great to be out, watching people do their thing, doing my thing, and enjoying some particularly fresh air. But like I say, still feeling absolutely on top of things, and despite that tiredness, which was apparent, a few comments about that, which was there to see. Try and check in every day just to let people know how I'm feeling and how things are ticking along. What I am really pleased to report today is, as mentioned on Monday Motivation, feel like I'm at the start of a brand new health kick. Feel really determined and driven to train for next year's London Marathon. Of course, I was supposed to be doing it this Sunday, but just hasn't happened for me over the last couple of months. I was speaking a lot yesterday. Do check back on how probably taking a little bit too much on, whilst I thought I was in control of it and able to plough through it and get things done, which I usually do. Just realised that there's probably too much going on at once, and I've not been able to put my full focus into myself and doing what needs doing in terms of the exercise. But this morning I was out 6 o'clock, didn't realise it had got dark. So late again now, as it is. Last time I was out that early, a couple of weeks ago, it was daylight, but I was out in the dark. It was 5 degrees, so it was a little bit of a shock to the system. Got in a 5k, slow, steady, didn't feel particularly great doing it or straight after it, but felt absolutely amazing this morning. And that's what Tuesdays are about, aren't they? Trying to pick up some Tuesday training, build on whatever we've done at the start of the week, get some endorphins flowing as the week starts biting back at us, I guess, coming back to us in the sense that try and start it in the right frame of mind. But of course, life gets busy, things get going, so we have to make sure we take some time for ourselves, and that's definitely what I did today. It just feels like I'm back in training. I did a run over the weekend, but like I say, getting up to do it was all part of the coaching session I do. Of course, the in-person stuff I do through DOdaily, it's a bit like a boot camp running thing here in Nottingham around the river. I was just on the other side this morning starting off, but I was there for the guys, and I have been in recent weeks, but I've not necessarily taken part. Today, taking part felt fantastic again. It not only does it feel good, I've got the endorphins flowing, but it feels like I've been part of something, part of my own thing to a degree. So it just feels fantastic to have got out there, and I think you can probably see already, especially if you watched last night's when I was tired, feel full of beans today and really, really positive. And that's all it's about, really. Nothing too scientific, too technical in what I say here on DOdaily. I'm just trying to be a normal person, checking in with normal positive feelings. If it's not going so positive, you'll probably see that too. If I'm feeling tired and a little bit run down, you'll see that too. It's just a safe space, I guess, for people to look in and see somebody who experiences all the issues that everybody does. Whilst I love my running and love my exercise and work to these daily motivations, it's tough. It's tough sometimes. It's tough to sort of get out there. I feel I'm particularly dedicated to the running side of things with the running groups and this coaching I mentioned before, but I still struggle for motivation just like everybody else. So all I'm trying to do is let people know how I do it, do you know, how I get through it, when I get going again, the feel I get from it. That's the most important thing, isn't it? Feel absolutely fantastic right now. Feel brilliant in the fact that I've done it, and I can say I've done it. Do you know, I added that accountability in yesterday, saying I was going to get up early, I was going to get on a new health kick, because I feel like that's really important too. I've got targets again, do you know, and that's a key factor in all this. I've got targets in terms of weight loss, I've got targets in terms of my running, the London Marathon thing, of course, and how I want to compete that in April. It's not a decision I took lightly, deferring that and missing races recently. Some of my most favourite races of all the running events I do, Great North Run, Robin Hood here, and the London Marathon next week, are the three I really didn't want to miss. But again, it's probably been a little bit of an eye-opener, a little bit of a wake-up call, I guess. Do you know, like I said, I don't think I really need that, because I love these things, but I've got to find a way to make them happen. I've taken so much enjoyment from those. They put me in a position where I love getting out there, getting my activity in, feeling that achievement, feeling those endorphins, and attacking the rest of the week. And already it feels like things are starting to take shape. You might think I'm talking absolute rubbish. Do you know, how can one slow plod at 6 a.m. in the morning do all this? But look at me compared to yesterday. You know, I'm absolutely buzzing for it, and really sort of, like I was getting to there, almost things are starting to fall into place for the rest of the week. It's helped me this evening have this little bit of free time. I've kind of reclaimed this in recent months from a group I did, and again I had to make a decision, but I'd almost filled the time with doing other things, possibly even at times moving the coaching session, which makes us accountable in the morning to the evening. But that wasn't the reason I stopped doing what I was doing before, if you get what I mean. So it's just important when you make these decisions to change and do things, you stick to what you say. Of course, we don't have to be rigid all the time, and we can change again if it's not working. That's absolutely fine. But if you know you was doing it for good reasons and good intentions, and you don't really ever start it, you know, you don't really ever get into that routine you was hoping for, then there was no point changing it in the first place, because it puts you into a bad habit, doesn't it? So what I'm trying to say here is, this Tuesday training thing, these motivations are just ways of making ourselves accountable, and once I work to them, you know, this is why DOdaily is so important to me personally. Whilst I'm trying to help others, encourage others, be positive, pass on a message here and there, it's important for me because it gives me that structure, it gives me that routine. And when I can get up early on a Tuesday morning, it feels like I'm doing what I say I'm going to do. And that is so important. Talking the way I do, encouraging people, stood in front of people at running groups, you know, trying to be that person that sort of installs the enthusiasm. You've got to show some of it yourself. You've got to be the example. And like I say, without being too hard on myself, I say this all the time, you know, there's mitigating circumstances, there's things that stop me at times. There's the fact I've had so much to do. I started by mentioning that, but it just feels like things are starting to settle down. And when we're in a position where things settle down, we can do the things we enjoy, which got us there in the first place. Yes, it's a cycle. Yes, it kind of got, you hit the peaks and you come down again, and the highs and lows of life, or the highs and mediums. You know, that's where I think I sort of fit in now, because I understand that when the highs aren't there, it's not necessarily a bad thing, isn't it? We've got to understand the medium as well, and the medium is the routine and the enjoyment we take. I'm always saying to the guys at the running club, don't forget why you come to do this, because it's, we hear the sayings, don't we? You know, familiarity breeds contempt and complacency and things like that set in. But you have to really dig deep, remember why it's important, and make the most of everything you've got. For me, I've got all these surroundings. I'm going to show you down by the river again. The sun's just setting, the autumn is kicking in. Possibly one of the most picturesque times of the year, particularly for taking pictures on DOdaily. I'll have the camera out again, taking pictures. Looking forward to building on today, tomorrow, with the Wednesday workout. Back at the running club after we enjoyed huge group of us enjoyed the Robin Hood event at the weekend. I was writing it down in a list earlier for some social media. There was over 45 people who was involved from the running group, and that's amazing as well, isn't it? That's a real team effort. No wonder I'm feeling great with all the celebrations from that, despite not taking part. Getting out for a run, being inspired by those guys as well, that's a massive factor in all this. Surrounding myself with it makes me want it. You know, sometimes when it gets tough and hard, you might think, oh, can't be bothered, but nothing ever come easy, did it? So it's just a case of ploughing on today. No real big messages in all of that, just a case of infusing about it again, and that's where I want to be. I want to be in a position to infuse about my activity, to be excited about what's coming up, not worried about what might or might not happen. That's not a good place, is it? Excitement's good, you know. Sometimes we're told to temper our expectations, but why? That's why the world's so miserable. Today it's just about pushing forward. As I said there, I'll try and build on it tomorrow. Not going to do too much, really going to be cautious and not push out too much. I'm just going to try and use the sessions I put on, whether it's the coaching or the actual groups, where absolutely anybody can attend free of charge and take part at their sort of ability and pace and however they approach it. But I'm going to use those because of course I've got that accountability, but it helps me build in a realistic fashion. Probably been too keen in the past, so again I've just got to bear that in mind, remember this feeling today and just go with it. And when I can keep doing the thing I love, you know, the thing that gets me out of many holes, the endorphins, the running, the achievement, you know, it gets me out of bad places when it does dip too low, because it does dip too low. Whilst I said kind of find this medium, what I was trying to say there is that's not a bad place. Some people think it's got to be full on excitement all the time, or life's getting at them, but it's not, is it? It's about just ticking over sometimes. As long as it's not bad, you know, we're giving ourselves every opportunity for it to be good. That kind of sounds like, didn't mean to say that, but that kind of sounds like a good way to finish. You know, again, I'm gonna just carry on a little bit. I'm actually waiting for Kate to come over and meet me. We're taking the puppy for a walk. That's all been great this week as well. I'm hoping that helps with my activity. The puppy started going out for walks. Can't do very far at the minute, so I'm meeting Kate and we're taking it for a walk, and we're going to do a little nice gesture that we were going to do before now, but it's just been put off, and put a padlock on a bridge. Sounds a bit daft, doesn't it? But I'll take a picture and post it on the end. You'll see the bridge where we live. Everybody does it, you know, couples have done it, and because we got married, of course, it'd be quite a nice thing to do. We use this area so much, take so much from it, met in this area, so why not get involved? A little bit cheesy, but you know, again, why shouldn't we share the love? And that's all I'm trying to do on DOdaily, guys. Please give the episode a thumbs up if you enjoy the enthusiasm. It might be a bit patchy, it might be a bit all over the place. Hopefully the wind's not interfere too much, and of course subscribe to the channel, that would be amazing too. Until tomorrow, check out those pictures. I'll take a few. Just doing it.